So, I'm probably going to end up posting a more refined YouTube video, going over all the warrior stuff. But first things first, a lot of you guys were curious with the level 100 talents, so I will show them to you guys. The first one is maybe potentially the hypest one of all. It's for prot warriors only, and it's called Gladiators Resolve. Gladiators Resolve is a passive that increases the damage reduction provided by defensive stance by 5%. So you want to hop in that there D stance. I think I already am in D stance. Hello, and it's gonna give me 30% damage mitigation. And then it also allows you to forego your defensive role instead focus only on offensive capabilities by replacing battle stance with gladiator stance. Look at that thing. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so freaking cool. Gladiator stance is a dauntless combat stance, which increases your physical damage dealt by 20% and replaces your shield block with shield charge. Sounds super cool. It actually is super cool too. The funny part is, you cannot change into or out of this stance during combat. So if you're gonna prop PvP in Gladiator stance, you are gonna go balls to the wall, and you may actually be squishier than an arms warrior in D stance. So it's kind of interesting. Let me show you guys what this looks like, because it is pretty sick. You guys like that animation? Swing! Oh, it's such a cool little thing. All right. Excuse me, sir. I know you're trying to do some quests, but I'm about to pull everything. Hi. Hi, friends. Friendly prot warrior here. Look at the shield charge. Bam! And then you just wallop people. So, you're just a little friendly neighborhood prot warrior here. And now I want you to notice that whenever I shield charge, it's not actually consuming the buff, okay? So you can shield charge often, and then you can shield charge and then use a bazillion abilities, and the shield charge buff that you get, the 30% damage buff, stays. Alright? So you have you have all these, well, this is lagging for a second. You have Revenge, Heroic Strike, I think it's even Devastate. Shield Slam, Revenge, and Heroic Strike all deal 30% additional damage for the duration of this little shield charge buff, you see? So, you're already doing 20% increased damage, and then you have a buff that makes you do 30% increased damage with only your big attacks. It's not a big deal, it's only your main attacks. So, you're kind of a freaking beast. And you have a shield out so you can block more often and things like that, so you're kind of just a hoss, alright? So that is pretty beast. Now look at, I'm just going to show you guys this again. Look at so the way I have my warrior set up right now is I have 2 charges, and I have a shield charge. So then you can charge this guy too, and you can shield charge this guy, and then if I had another charge, I could shield charge again. Shield charge does cost 20 rage, but it doesn't really matter because I feel like you almost have better rage generation as prot and gladiator stance than you do as in battle stance as an arms warrior, because you have all these as long as people are hitting you, you're gonna have revenge spam. So you can generate like full rage all the time to use Heroic Strike, which is buffed by your shield charge. And Shield Slam generates 20 rage too, and I think your auto attacks generate rage. Let me check. No, maybe not. Okay, your auto attacks don't generate rage. What the fuck? What just generated rage for me then? I'm so confused. I don't even care. Look at this deeps. I do feel like you have better rage generation than arms warrior even. And you have more abilities to use because revenge is like always up. So unless people don't hit you as a prot warrior, then you're gonna be just fine. So the rotation is gonna be like shield charge, shield slam, revenge, heroic strike. Try to throw devastate in there if you're out of things to use to get a sword and board. You probably get the shield slam off before your shield charge buff falls off. Welcome aboard, by the way, man. Look at that. So you're doing some significant chops right here. Yeah, you're doing 10k shield slams, 10k revenge crits. Like, this is the real deal. That's beast mode stuff, okay? So, gladiator stance alone is something to be extremely excited about, I feel. So this guy's, you handle that. Yeah, he's prot. You got the right idea there, Chief. Alright, now I'm gonna swap into Ravager. Because you guys wanted to see Ravager. Let's put Ravager over here. Alright. Can I put it right here? I can't mount in here. Oh, that's fine. So I'm gonna put Ravager here. Ravager is like just another AoE. So Ravager plus Blade Storm plus Thunderclap will help this guy AoE his mobs down. Another prot warrior in need. So you get a little targeting reticle, you plop it down, that axe spins around, and just crits the bananas out of people. It does really good damage. It does seem to crit often too, and in addition to the damage part, it's also like a defensive cooldown. So there's space control, so if somebody wants to hit you, you can make them stand right in that thing. You can make them stand in your Ravager, and if you read the tooltip, it also increases your chance to parry by 30% for 10 seconds, which is the duration of the Ravager thing, and it's on a minute cooldown. So it's an offensive and it's basically die by the sword, and well, it's die by the sword without the flat damage reduction and space control with the AoE. So the AoE will deal damage, but obviously people generally move out of the AoE. This guy used Avatar. Oh, he did. What a noob. That's a graphical bug with Avatar. You can see him right there. He's popped Avatar, and something's going very, very wrong with his character. So he's like become the Shaw. So don't use Avatar for right now. So it's a space control. If people want to stand in it, they're going to take damage. It is a parry, increased chance to parry. And, okay, this guy's just going to run from me. I have 4 charges, bro. What are you going to do? Actually, I don't have 4 charges. I'm not in my stance. What the hell? Oh, yeah, because I'm not a Gladiators Resolve. Okay, that makes sense now. All right, my bad. I confused myself. But it's AoE, defensive, like sort of space control. Okay. Anger management. Anger management. I've heard whispers that they were going to be taking the readiness mechanic out of the game. So if they do that, I don't know what they're going to do with this. But this is pretty neat, especially as arms. So you guys have seen these. The Gladiators Resolve is the only talent that is exclusive to Prot. So I'm going to go into arms so I can show you Ignite Weapon. In combat, apparently. So I can show you Ignite Weapon, and so that I can give you guys maybe a better look at anger management. I think that if I might end up using anger management on my warrior, honestly. It's pretty cool. Can I get out of combat? Let me see. Yo, kill this guy. Whoever, there's one mob running from me. I need to find who it was and slay them. I'm gonna draw. I want to use Ravager again, but I don't want to use Ravager again because then it'll make it so that it'll make it so that I can't respec. So I mean, we probably have to just clear all these guys out. But still, even in like just normal like defensive stance, I don't even know. I'm in battle right now, I think. But Prot still seems to do pretty well, and the rage generation is good. But the fact that you have Gladiator stance now makes, I don't know, I feel like Prot could be real. But yeah, I'll show you readiness so you can actually see what it looks like as it reduces the cooldowns. Am I ever gonna be able to get out of combat? Maybe. Did I tag that guy? I'm sorry. I'm just gonna run away. I'm just gonna be out of here. Yeah, the Ignite Weapon is kind of cool. I showed you guys that yesterday. It just adds like damage to your auto attacks and to your special attacks, I believe. These guys are like just like roaming, pathing mobs. This guy just runs away. And then I stay in combat for a year and a half. Okay. I don't know. I'm really excited about Gladiator stance. It seems super fun. But whenever, basically the idea behind anger management is that as you spend rage, some of your bigger abilities like Shockwave, Heroic Leap, Die by the Sword, those abilities are, their cooldown is reduced. So you'll see the little cooldown ticking, and then you use if you use like a chunk of rage, you'll see it go by a little bit faster, and a little bit faster, and a little bit faster. So over the course of, you know, just battling, your cooldowns are going to come up more often, depending on how active you are in the battle. So here it says Recklessness, Shield Wall, Demoralizing Shout, Last Stand. But a lot of these, some of these are Prot abilities. Heroic Leap, Mocking Banner. For arms, it'll say Die by the Sword. It'll say like Shockwave. A lot of the similar stuff. So let's have a look. Yeah, but as a Prot warrior in Gladiator stance, you're forced to pretty much never go defensive stance as long as you're in combat. So as long as you can accept that risk, you'll be all right. So have a look at this. I guess maybe I should go back in this little zone down here, but you don't need to see it in a huge deal. But look, so I'm gonna Heroic Leap. I'm gonna Shockwave. I'm gonna Blade Storm. I'm gonna cancel my Blade Storm. I'm gonna Die by the Sword. So watch any of these cooldowns now as I charge these guys and try to spend rage. So there's Mortal Strike. Now watch the cooldown. Can you see how it kind of speeds up a little bit? It's really easy to see when I execute whenever I don't have it, like when I don't have them low. If you execute when you don't have somebody low, it costs 60 rage. And that's a pretty substantial chunk. So watch the cooldown. It'll start moving faster, especially when I Die by the Sword. So ideally your cooldowns will come up more often. Like my heroic leap's already up. I don't know if it's been 30 seconds or not, but that's the idea behind it. Is that the more active you are in combat, the faster your abilities come back off cooldown, the more active you can be in combat. So it kind of stacks up on itself, which is really, really neat. And this might be the talent that I end up using for arms. Ignite Weapon is also cool. I was using that the other day. Let me show you this. It's nothing too crazy. It does look cool, though. It ignites your weapon, it says, so I'll just read the tooltip. Ignite your weapon and deal 91% of weapon damage, 120% if one-handed weapon is equipped as fire, and cause your auto attacks to deal fire damage for 10 seconds. This ability is not on the global cooldown. So, let me show you. It seems like it's like every hit you'll deal this amount of damage. Yeah. It's kind of unclear, but I think like when you hit something, it deals extra damage as fire damage. So if I just sit here and my auto attacks will go off, I hit him with this thing, I think that'll make, yeah, like you can see like almost two damage numbers pop up every time I hit something. So it adds a really nice amount of damage to your attacks. This might be my second choice. I think Ravager would be my third choice out of the arms talents, and this one would be really nice because it just does so much damage. You definitely notice the rage cost, so you might not just have like constant fire, like ignite weapon uptime, but it is really strong. So all this is really neat. Right now I can only really kill little baby mobs, so I'm gonna be really excited to actually see what these feel like in PvP. And PvP is not in the game yet. We're only being asked at this stage in the alpha to test the early leveling area for the horde side, but as more information comes out, of course I'll continue to share that with you guys. But that's what the talents are looking like, and I believe Arms and Fury have the same level 100 talents, so cool stuff.